So in today's video, I'll share with you a very interesting framework that is supposed to help you to improve your chances to show as a great cultural fit in a job interview. And it's called actually the BRAVE framework, and it was developed by Prime Genesis, which I also linked in the video description. This framework was built not necessarily for job interview candidates, but for more specialized use cases, for more specialized HR use cases. But I'll try to decodify and try to explain to you how they think about these in order to have these, to project this look that you believe will be relevant for you in a job interview. And I'm going to go through each of these 5 elements and present you with some extremes that with some scales, if you want, to which you'd have to pick for yourself which one is the best for you, for the company that you're applying for, and also for the role that you're applying for in particular. So the first one is behavior. So behavior, if you want. Do you want to showcase yourself as someone who presents some breakthrough, innovative solutions, or do you want to who's rather focused on repeatability rather than a one-off innovations? So which of these would be more suitable for you and for the role that you're applying for in this job interview? The second one, do you prefer to be flexible, fluid, or a more structured and disciplined? Right, so what does your role imply here? Does your role imply being structured and disciplined, or for you to be more flexible and fluid with these things? Think about what would be the best, what would sell best in a job interview. And the third element that I mentioned is, are you going for an individual contributor or someone who's supposed to be working in interconnected teams? Now, the second dimension of the BRAVE framework is relationships. So when it comes to power and decision making, from diffused and debated to controlled and monarchical. Communication manner, from informal, verbal, face-to-face to formal, directed, or written. Now, what do you think are the norms for the way people relate and communicate when you are interviewing? This is also another dimension that you would want to keep in mind with respect to relationship, and how do you connect, how do you see communication moving forward. The next element of the BRAVE framework is attitude. So how do you win? First dimension here is the strategy emphasis, from premium price service innovation to low price, low service, and minimum viable product. Focus, from ideas out to customer needs in. So are you someone who'd rather generate ideas recurrently, or are someone who prefers to take customer needs in at first? Posture, from proactive to responsive. Next one would be values. And this is basically refers to what matters to them, what are their ethics, purpose, and principles. And yes, this is about in case of Amazon, the leadership principles, or in case of Facebook, their core values, or in case of Google, their 10 things. Here are a couple of dimensions here for you to consider. Learning, from open and shared to directed. Risk appetite, from risk more, gain more, to protect what is. Are you someone who'd rather project a risk as a risk averse person, or are you a risk taker for the role that you're applying for? It's a very, very important question for many types of these roles. Interpretation of mission, vision, and values, from as intended, evolving, to as written. So how do you see the company's values, as evolving or as written? And finally, the environment. So the environment, where to play, or the context, is either from opportunities to capture to problems to solve. So do you believe that your future role implies more opportunities to capture or more problems to solve? Enablers, from human, interpersonal, societal to technical, mechanical, and scientific. Right, this would be the second dimension. And the third dimension here, barriers, from external hurdles to internal capabilities. Overall, I believe that this framework should give you a very interesting direction as how to sell yourself in a job interview. And again, the end goal is to have them say that, yes, you look like a great cultural fit for our company when they deliberate on whether they should make a hire or no hire recommendation. So hopefully you found this useful.